If you're a maintenance supervisor for a commercial property, you've had to deal with everything from leaky faucets to flickering light bulbs. But nothing's worse than that ancient boiler that's lived in the building since the day it was built, 50 years ago. It's enough to make anyone lose their cool. That's where Grainger comes in. With industrial-grade products and dependable fast delivery, Grainger can help with any challenge, from worn-out components to everyday necessities. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Good evening. Welcome to WSBI, your resource for success podcast program, where you get to meet inspiring women-owned businesses from across the country. And now, for your host, Kimberly McLemore.
Well, hello. Welcome to a special edition of the WSBI podcast program. This evening, you will be spending
Moments with Lady K
and Mr. T. Welcome, Mr. T.
Well, thank you, and welcome, Lady K.
All right, how are you?
I'm well. I'm awesome. How are you?
I am ready, Freddy. Okay, I'm doing great. This has been a long time coming. So tonight, the show is an introduction, and we're going to talk about our new talk show that's going to be coming out this fall, right?
Yay!
Yay! Oh my gosh. All right. Yeah. So we have something really special we're going to talk a little bit about to the listeners this evening and, prepare everybody for what's coming down towards the middle of the year.
Yes. So excited about that.
All right. Okay. So T, why don't you tell the listeners just a little bit about yourself before we actually start jumping into the program part?
I would love to do that. Well, first, I am a Taurus. I like long walks on the beach and basket lunches and slow jazz. I'm singlish, grownish, and all that good jazz. So, no.
All right now. Okay, wait a minute.
Not that kind of show. But I am a professional living in the DMV. For those listeners who don't know, that's the District of Columbia, Maryland, and Virginia. When I first moved here, I actually thought it was the Department of Motor Vehicles and was trying to figure out why so many people referred to it as the DMV. And then I figured it out, like, oh, DC, Maryland, and Virginia. But I work in healthcare full-time in my big boy job, and like I said, as a professional, and I also work in health and fitness. I am single-ish. I like to say that, like brownish and blackish. Single-ish. I've been in a relationship for several years now. I like to say we're pretty happy. We get along, and we have an imaginary pet pig that we created, so don't judge us, all that good jazz.
All right. Well, we're going to go down that path a little later. Yeah. We're talking about a pig, y'all.
An imaginary pet pig. I don't know where that came from. Long story. Not going to get into that. But like I said, I also work in health and fitness. Not a personal trainer, but I am a group fitness instructor. And I teach several different formats. One of them being cycle. The other being a HIIT training for those people who are into fitness. HIIT stands for high intensity interval training. And the other one is a little known Latin dance inspired dance fitness phenomenon known as Zumba.
All right.
Yeah, I teach in a couple different little areas and a couple different gyms and have fun doing that. So that's what I do. I guess I want to say I like politics, even though I know this show is not about politics specifically. Love the arts, dance, music, plays, musicals, you name it, I'm into that. A little bit of fashion, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, So I like to think I'm pretty well versed. So
well, it sounds like you're very well rounded and Mama did good.
Yes, indeed. I like to read too. And speaking of reading, I know that you probably like to share a little bit more about yourself and something that may involve reading, Lady K.
Well, for those who don't know who I am, I absolutely have other shows that I do, but my name is Kimberly McLemore, and I am an author. And, of course, I do have a podcast show besides this one that a lot of you listeners listen to, which is called the WSBI podcast program, where I actually have a lot of my wonderful female entrepreneurs and business owners that come on here and share their stories. And beyond that, I also am the founder and CEO of the Women's Small Business Initiative, which is a one-stop shop pool of resources that I provide for women who are already in business or women who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs, where they can communicate with each other from across the country. They can collaborate with each other. They can set up forums. There's all types of things they can do on this online platform that I have developed that I think is pretty awesome, and have some wonderful women entrepreneurs out there that are just doing their thing. And beyond that, outside of my business world that's starting to get crazy, I am also a project manager and a senior consultant for a company that I work for during the day. I'm a contractor, and I support the Department of Defense over at Fort Belvoir. So my life is pretty busy, but back to the author piece.
Yeah.
I'm real excited to say that, things are really picking up. I am the author of a memoir called The Deception of the Heart. We're looking into domestic violence, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen me out there on that Facebook platform, Instagram, talking about my book signing that's coming up on March 17th, and also have one coming up on March 31st. But I won't go too far down on the path with that as far as the book signings, but please, look me up on Facebook. We would love to see you. It's going to be at the Kate Waller Branch Library in Alexandria, and then the other one's going to be at the, I believe, Hilton in Alexandria as well, at the Mark Center, the Hilton Mark Center. So it's a really a big moment for me. I also have another book out there, and currently working on my third one. And really, it's not my third; actually, it's my fourth. Just a quick story: how my mom calls me one day and was like, honey, I found this book that you did back in I think it was like 98, 89, 90, something like that. I was like, really? Wow. I didn't realize I had written a book. Actually, was in the latter part of the 90s, because I owned 2 licensed childcare centers back in the day. Because I'm not originally from here. I'm originally from Davenport, Iowa, and found that I actually was, because I trained people how to open a business as well, but actually wrote about how to open up your own childcare center. And my mother sent it to me, and I was just like, oh my gosh. And I forgot how I had did all this, and it's patent, it's like nobody could copy this, even though it's been around and it's old and dusty at this point. Yeah. but it was just really cool to see that, even back then I was writing and didn't even realize what I was doing. And it's funny how you walk yourself out of something and thinking that, oh, that's a one-time thing, and only went with the business. Right. And now I've literally have walked myself back into it. Unfortunately, it's under a tragedy, a very tragic part of my life. But at the same time, it's been very humbling, and to see the path that I'm going on, it's just going to be amazing. So, that's just a little bit about me. I am a single mother. I have a wonderful son who is a grown man, soon to be 30, and that means I'm getting older. I'm in, as he says, I'm getting older. He calls me the ARP mom. like, wait a minute now. I said, no, sweetheart, I'm in my second chapter of my life and looking good, okay?
Right? So, he's a very nice young man for the listeners out there. He comes from good stock, as they say down south.
That's right. He sure does. She sure does. But I'm definitely a single mother. I've been raising him. He's done a great job. I'm very proud of my son. He is phenomenal. I couldn't have asked for a better child. But, that's just a little bit about me. And I've been in this area, going on 14 years. I can't believe I've been here this long. Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to ever stay, because I literally just got rid of my house a year ago. My other house. I was like, I'm going back to Iowa. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Change your mind really quickly, right?
Exactly. All right, but that's just a little bit about us. So, now we're going to just talk about what's coming on this new talk show.
Yeah, we got so many wonderful things coming just for I want to say our listeners, or our future listeners. Mm-hmm. That will be going on starting later on in 2018.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's been such a journey. When we decided to talk about doing this talk show, I kept, for years I've been kind of watching T, and I'm like, man, I got to get this guy. He has the perfect personality, doing another great talk show. And I always love to have a perspective from a male perspective versus just a female perspective. And the topics that we're going to be kind of diving into are going to be a lot different than my previous program. But let's talk a little bit before we talk about the actual details of the show. What inspired us to do this show?
Well, I think some of the inspiration behind the show was allowing a different platform with podcasts and all the vlogs and everything that are out there. Everyone's putting their own touch on how to reach out and connect with people. And I think what we have here is a unique opportunity to share things specific to the DMV, to this area, and also worldwide, and let people know what's going on here, and to share our respective backgrounds. Mine being health and fitness, and yours in writing, and all the other things that we're in tune to do.
Yeah, exactly. Woo!
We can share that talent with the world. What are your thoughts about?
I agree. When we really first talked about it, we were kind of struggling. Like, okay, how do you inspire people? Well, every day we inspire people. What we do in our personal lives, in our business lives. When you're out there on that floor doing something, everything that we do is all about inspiration. And to be able to share the knowledge that we have on that, and then to turn around and put our personal touch on that. Like I said, we're using this platform for other people. So people who are out here in the DMV area, you're going to have plenty of opportunity to call us and talk to us while we're on air, because we will be doing this live. It will be a live podcast. So what that means is that for those who aren't in the area, you will still be able to listen to this on the podcast show. But for those who are local, you will also be able to watch us on Facebook. And there will be times where we will actually have our interviews live, where people will actually be able to come and visit with us. So, we're real excited about this new opportunity, and we're hoping that, you guys will all be as excited and be willing to participate with us. So let's kind of, dive into what our topics are going to be about.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what our topics won't be, because I shared that I work in healthcare, so I don't want anybody calling me, asking me about broken bones, anything that's bleeding, anything that's oozing out of your body, because I'm going to tell you to go to the emergency department or your local urgent care. Right. So don't write in about that stuff.
Exactly, yeah. And the other thing we will not be talking about, we both agreed that we won't really dive into a lot of politics, and I don't want to talk about my work as a government person, as a contractor, and all that stuff. Yeah. I don't want to talk about projects and tasks and do this and do that. That's my other part of my life that I'm praying, Lord, He's continuing to work with me, that it will only be another short period of time that piece exactly will be gone. Oh my gosh. So yeah, we have topics that I think that are definitely going to be worthwhile and interesting for the community, because DMV is a huge area, and we'll have so many things that we'll be able to go over. One of the items that we're definitely going to talk a lot about, some business tips. I do kind of a weekly business tip thing now, and I think it's great to be able to talk to people about what it takes to be a business person. Once you have that idea, it's all great and dandy, but there's so many other pieces that come with it.
Exactly.
So that's one of the topics.
One of the other things that I would like to make sure that we include into, that I will be making sure we include into this show, will be local events. Because they're in this area, there's so many different things going on just one weekend. If you went to everything in one weekend, you would never get any sleep, and you would be like on 395 on the Beltway like all day. So
exactly.
But we're gonna let you know what's going on in which areas, whether it's Maryland, whether it's in DC, they also call it the city, or even in Northern Virginia, just different areas. Some of them may be health and fitness events. Some of them may be business events, fun events, wine tastings. Like, I'm all about wine. So just keeping you abreast of what's going on, how you can get there, who's going to be there. Not that's about who's who, but, if, Beyonce is going to be at the harbor, I definitely want to be there. So,
That's right.
Why not?
That's right. Yeah.
But definitely just keeping you guys abreast of what's going on locally. and what your options are for the weekend, for the week, for the day, for the evening, for the night. It's a little bit of something for everyone. And I know with inviting everyone, we talked earlier about having the listeners be a part of the program. Maybe you want to talk about some of potential guests.
Yeah, that's the other thing. The big part and the most important part, I think, for the new program and our talk show is that we do want guests. Yes. We will have availability where you'll be able to reach out to us. So that, hey, if you want to be a guest, we'll make sure that you will have your time. And like I said, there will be nights where we won't have special guests, but you will still be able to chime in, ask us questions, and talk about topics that you want to get into. So there's definitely going to be the opportunity, but they will only be for local people. We really want to focus on local. All the other podcast programs that I do them for people all around the country as well as internationally. So this is an opportunity that we wanted to just have some fun, get everybody in the community involved as much as we can. And, like I said, share our stories and give a little personal opinion, that little rough and stuff. And you guys also get to see a different part of who we are.
Exactly.
So I think I'm really excited about all those things. But there's some other things that I'm not going to talk about. I love fashion, but I told T, this is your part.
You want to put me on the spot like that?
I am.
Well, I enjoy fashion a great deal, so I will be keeping you guys abreast of what's going on, what's going to be hot and popping. Even you get the regular seasonal stuff. Oh, summer, we're bright colors. In spring, we're florals. I want to make sure to share some more interesting things with you guys, and even some basic things that sometimes we forget about. Even something as simple as making sure to try on your clothes before you leave the store. And we forget about how important that is. And my best friend and I, who I've known since the 8th grade, we have this thing called the squat test when you try on pants. And so
I know where you're going.
So when you're trying on your pants, you got to squat. Y'all gotta dip it down low, all the way down to the floor, and then get back up. And then when you get back up, you kind of figure out wherever your pants lie, whether you need to go up a size or go down a size. So just little simple stuff like that, So
well, the way they make things today, you may be flip flopping all the time. So you never know what you're gonna get when you buy anything at the store these days.
Exactly. But there's another piece to our puzzle. The biggest part in what we've been sharing, not only highlighting just people here in this area, but also what motivates us, and part of what Lady K and Mistah Tee are about is being motivated and staying motivated and being inspired to do better and to be a better part of who you are. So, Lady K, would you like to tell our listeners a little bit about moments with Lady K and Mistah Tee?
Sure. Yeah, the one thing that moments with Lady K and Mistah Tee is so unique, and a big part of our lives, like I said, we always have to inspire others. So we're really going to be focusing a little piece of us each time about what inspires us and how we inspire others. We all know that there's times that we're going through rough patches in our own lives, but there's many of you out there going through the same thing. And sometimes it's not even just having a rough time. You just need a hug. You just need somebody to hear you out and care enough about what you're doing. And, we want you to consistently know that we're here for you, but also you have to be, like I tell people when I'm having a lot of my speaking engagements, that you have to be your own hero. We can't always depend on everybody to inspire us. You need to inspire yourself. And we're here, though, to give you that nudge when you feel like that you're trying to get over that edge, but you're just not making it. And, but like we said, we also need the same thing. So we are hoping that this program, you guys will be able to inspire us to do things that you will enjoy for us, and like I said, topics to talk about, our guests coming on. And then, T, he inspires me every day every week when I see him 2 or 3 times a week on that floor, doing Zumba. And, I always keep that little secret in my back pocket of, I'm an instructor too, but even though I don't teach anymore, every day we have to inspire people to do better. You know, I call myself I love to go in the gym, so I'm a gym rat. And people are like, oh my God, you get up at 4 or something to go to the gym? I'm like, yeah.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
just joking.
But you know, it's that little bit of inspiration. And then when I walk through that door, as tired as I am, and I see all those same people doing the same thing, we're all inspiring each other in our own little ways to continue to move forward. And that's what we're here to do on this show.
Amen.
All right. Yay. And as you can see, we're both crazy as hell too, so it's okay.
Yeah. A little bit.
Just a little bit.
I'm not certifiable, but there might be a doctor's order somewhere.
Well, we know if you're working in the healthcare industry, you got to have a little craziness
You
in
do.
you.
That you do. You do, because I tell you, some of the things I've seen and felt and had, shout out to the healthcare workers out there. You guys do good work.
Absolutely, because we got to have them. That's with anything that we have, you know, with all the different things going on in the community and around the world today. We all need each other in more ways than one.
Indeed.
All right. So, do you have anything else you want to add, sir?
Not that I can think of at the moment. Just that I'm really excited for what's to come in 2018. I'm anxious. I'm nervous. I'm elated. I'm excited, and I am just ready for what's going to come, because 2018 has so many opportunities, and just it's just full of so many opportunities that I feel like I'm bursting with possibilities right now. So, and it's January, and I don't do resolutions.
Neither do I. That's part of the reason why I'm attracted to you all the time, because I'm like, you know what? No resolutions here, because we find that, you know, you set them and then most people never complete them.
Exactly.
I think that life is about changes consistently, and using 1 month or 1 new year doesn't work for me.
It doesn't.
You know, and especially if you're really striving to do different things in your life that, you know, you want to accomplish and live those dreams you want to accomplish, you can't go by a year-to-year base, because otherwise you never make it.
I like to set goals for myself. By the end, my goal, one thing that I do for myself rather, is every year by the end of the first month, which is January, I make sure to write down my goals for the year, and I make them realistic. I make them small things. Like if I know there's something bigger that I want to do, what are those first steps that I need to do to get there? Because those are the things I need to accomplish first to get to the other side. So I make sure to make my goals realistic, and they're my goals. They're things that I want to check off. Like, you know, when we go to work every day, we have a set of tasks.
Exactly.
So it's just we have 365 days to do them. So,
That's right.
And hopefully by the middle of the year, I can check everything off.
Right. And well, you know, and I kind of look at it this way. It's no different than being on a job. Right. If you don't complete those tasks and you don't do your part, what happens to you?
You get called into the principal.
You get caught in the principal, or you get fired. Okay. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. And that's the realistic part about it. So it should be no different than for you if you're deciding that you want to be in a business. You know, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, you should have that same attitude.
Exactly.
You know, and so, like I said, that's what we're here to do, is inspire those, and of course, continue to inspire ourselves and each other, because we have a big responsibility on our shoulders here, you know, doing that. But you know, it's all worth it at the end of the day.
It is, and you know, at the end of every class that I teach, specifically every Zumba class, but any class that I teach, I like to leave all the participants, all the members, kind of leaving with a feeling that they've accomplished something, that they've been successful, just in the matter of 55 minutes, an hour, 90 minutes, whatever time frame it is. And we want you guys to feel like you're either going to be set up to be successful, or that you've been successful thus far, and we're here to help kind of guide you through the process of just making your way through the day.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I think that, it's time that we come to the end of our introduction show. It has, I know, I was like, we could sit here and talk all night. But I think they're like, can y'all just hold off on some of it to the actual show?
Exactly. Like I didn't want to listen for 2 hours, y'all.
Yeah, exactly. What kind of introduction is that?
Or maybe they do. Maybe they want to listen to us talk for 2 hours.
You never know. You never know. But, hey, when we get to that point, we need to be on, iTunes and Sirius Radio and, rocking it. Here we go, people. This is the purpose.
It's the beginning of the year.
There you go.
What's going to happen.
There you go.
Well, I know I've truly enjoyed spending time with you, Lady K.
And as always, Mr. T, it is always my pleasure to spend time with you. And as far as getting hold of us, we will have all that new information available in the fall. Yes. So you can follow us. But until then, like I said, I would like to thank you all for listening to us this evening. Be looking for us this fall. We'll be coming to you live. Until then, enjoy the rest of your evening.
Good night, everyone. We will be back next Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Follow us on Spreaker, www.spreaker.com/user/WSBI. View our new WSBI website anytime at www.wsbillc.com and on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram.